And that's how I think you start to see some of these upsets come up in modern college football times.
Well, and on the other side of that, you see players that maybe were second team or third team, and maybe they weren't being given the opportunities at the school that they wanted, and they leave and go somewhere else, and they become a starter and become an outstanding player. So you got that going on too. They want to play, and they want to play as freshmen.
Right.
Yeah. And they don't want to wait till they're juniors to play. If I want to come play football for you, I want an opportunity to play as a freshman. And so you're seeing that, and players are, and they're going to go to where they have the best opportunity to play, and where they feel like they're wanted, and that's going to give them the greatest opportunity. They all go in. A lot of kids. The NFL is a reserved for the elite of the elite.
Right.
And a lot of these kids, they're not going to be NFL material. And they're going to stay in college 5 years, 6 years, as long as they can, because they're getting paid.
Right.
And they're going to make more money.
Perfect example, Cam Rising out in Utah. I mean, he was there for 7 or 8 years as a quarterback. And I think he finally graduated, or he's done, and you don't hear about Cam Rising no more, but he made his money.
Yeah.
Kind of like Tate Martell, number one recruit coming out of high school. And, I mean, you talk about a media train. This guy had it behind him, gets to Ohio State, can't make anything happen. Transfers to Miami. Manny Diaz is down there, doesn't win the starting quarterback job. Okay, well, put me at wide receiver. They're playing Florida, and you could tell he just did not want to play wide receiver just by what we saw on the field and on TV. Like, he made it a scene. But, guys like that, and there's been a few more that have come through that you just – what happened to that guy? And especially at Tennessee, you have top recruits like Jarrett Garantano, for example, just didn't pan out the way we thought he would. And something that a lot of people forget, Jonathan Crompton was the number 2 quarterback coming out of that high school class. Like, I think he was ranked above Sanchez. I think he was ranked above who else? Sam Bradford, Colt McCoy, guys like that. He was ranked above them. And then he gets here, and when he had to cover for Eric Ainge, he showed flashes. It's like, okay, this guy might be an elite quarterback. And then something happened in 2008. I don't know what happened to him, whether it was Cutcliffe leaving and he wasn't getting the coaching that he needed, like he was getting under David Cutcliffe, or what happened there. But that happens more times than not. And a lot of people tend to forget that.
Yeah.
Guys, you know what we sound like right now?
What's that?
We sound like 3 old men in the wooden rocking chairs on the porch, drinking a lemonade, eating some Charlie's Pizza, where we are until 8 o'clock tonight. If you want to come out and see us, stop by Charlie's. We've actually had some really good pizza tonight. We've had my classic pepperoni pizza, the cauliflower crust chicken bacon ranch, which we hyped up so much last week. That thing is amazing. As Matthew goes and gets the whole pie, I thought he was about to eat it for himself. And then we got a cauliflower crust barbecue chicken pizza, barbecue chicken alert. Stay with us. When we return, we're going to ask Coach Wells some hard-hitting questions. Just get to know Coach Wells a little bit. See what he's been up to and talk about his journey to Campbell County and through Campbell County. Stay with us. Jake Miller Sports Talk continues right here on WLAF.
When you think loans, think green and look for us under the big green sign. First National Bank on the 4-lane La Follette. Our hometown staff welcomes you by today. See Brian. Ask for Carrie. Look for Beth behind the counter. Or see Taylor at the drive-thru. First National Bank Oneida. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Your family, your future, your bank. First National Bank. Cougar fans, get your First National Bank Orange and Blue Cougar debit card.
At Grace Rehab, we have one goal in mind: to improve your quality of life. We provide physical, occupational, and speech therapy for all ages. Grace's therapy and treatment plans are individualized for each patient.
Well, my doctor didn't think I would be to this point at this time, and I wouldn't have been had it not been for the rehab center here at Grace.
Oh, I like all the people that's here, and they've been real nice, and I've had a ton of fun with them.
Grace Rehab, we want to help you feel your best.
Hi, my name is Amanda Pemberton. I'm a lifelong Campbell County native, former Lady Cougar. I'm a personal lines agent here at Gray Insurance. I would love to help you out with all your home, auto, life insurance, and health needs. We're an independent agency, so we can offer you a wide variety of companies. Come see me and I'll be glad to help you with all your insurance needs. Thanks.
I'm Daniel Dagley, and it's that time of year again. Come see us at Gray Insurance for all your health care needs.
If you're looking for quality at bargain prices, look no further than Hammers in Clinton. Family owned and operated, Hammers is there to help you stretch that dollar. Need jeans? Hammers has them. Need boots? Hammers has those. Need something orange for game day? Hammers has that as well. And don't forget to check out their home decor. When you visit Hammers in Clinton, you save money and time with a one-stop shop. And don't forget that RC and moon pie before you leave. Hammers, off the Clinton exit, just past Community Trust Bank. Easy to find, easy to shop.
Need tires and alignment? How about an oil changer, maybe brake work? Whatever your car, truck, or SUV needs, the folks at Hensley Tire and Service are ready to help you. When it comes to your vehicle, come to Hensley's Tire and Service. You'll find us in La Follette, where Indiana meets Beach. For your next set of tires or service needs, call Hensley Tire and Service, 423-563-8473.
Go Cougars!
Hi, I'm Macy Wilcox, the owner of La Follette Nutrition, and at La Follette Nutrition, we support the Cougars. Stop by and get a loaded tea and shake or a superfood bowl. And don't forget, we have seasonal menus. We're located at 240 West Central Avenue, Suite 9, across from First Baptist Church.
I'm Bailey Ball. Come see my dad, Billy, at La Follette Mine Supply. Hey, he's my dad too. Come see our dad. For septic tanks, PVC pipe, septic chambers, and rebar. Be sure and ask about our low prices on Tractor Ag Fluid, Def Fluid, and Rotella T4 motor oil. What's that? No kids zone? You can read?
Welcome back. Jake Miller, Sports Talk, WLAF, live from Charlie's Pizza. We're going to be here until 8 o'clock. Guys, come on down. Get you something to eat. Get you one of those chicken bacon ranch cauliflower crust pizzas. Those are fantastic. Because, of course, we have Coach Dwayne Wells here with us. I'm always going to call you Coach. That's just kind of one of those things. I grew up calling you Coach. Yeah. You know, the 3 months that I worked out with you, called you Coach.
It's your, I think it's my first name. And And, you know, I'm like that. I still call the coaches that I played for, I still call them Coach. And a lot of, you know, the kids, like I said kids, the players that played for me, wherever I've been, they always, hey, Coach, hey, Coach. The teachers still call me Coach. You know, it's just kind of, I don't think anybody knows my first name.
Well, I think it's a sign of respect, though, too.
It is.
You know, you've always got that person that, you know, like mine, Coach Kerr, Coach Bruce.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your coaches. I mean, you weren't one of my coaches, but I still call you Coach Wells.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, to me, it's showing a sign of respect. I mean, you dedicated your life to something. Why would I call you anything other than Coach? You know, you've influenced so many young men, well, grown adults now.
Yes.
And for me, when I call somebody Coach, it's I respect you. You've helped develop me into the person I am. So that's just part of it.
It is, and you know, in my younger years, you know, when I got into coaching, and you know, you wanted to be that positive influence in a young man's life, and you don't necessarily see it during the time they're in school there, but you know, when they become adults and they become husbands, then they become fathers, and they still call you Coach. I still see. You know, in town, I'll run into former players. Hey, Coach, how you doing? And you know, always ask about them. You know, how their family is, and you know how they're doing and everything. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy that aspect of it at this point in my life. And you know, and seeing them be successful. You know, I want to know about them, and you know, I meet their kids, and you know, in the last couple of years, I've been just teaching at Campbell County, and I'm getting the kids in my room. I keep calling them kids because the students in my room I had their parents in the classroom. And so I'm seeing that. So, I just kind of look in the mirror and see all those gray hair and realize that, it's just good to see former players and students that are being successful in life and doing well. That's really gratifying for me. And, and as far as, coaches, they want to have an influence on their players. They want to have a positive role, positive influence on their life. And, and when you're a younger coach and you're coming up, am I making a difference? And, I've had conversations with people, so you're not going to see it until later on.
Right.
And so I'm grateful for the time, football coaches go, as far as the number of players you see each day and every season, year after year after year. You've been last year we had a reunion, the 04 team.
Oh.
And so we had a little get-together before the game, and I got to see some players I hadn't seen since they graduated.
Wow.
Some of them I'd seen, and some of them look like they could still play.
I'm sure Chris Johnson can still run at 90 yards if he needs to.
Chris Johnson he's done well.
Right.
Chris has done well, and he's got he's got a great wife, and he's got kids, and he's still the shy Chris.
Yeah.
And so, he's going to be going into the first induction with the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
At Campbell County, and he was special. And
I remember.
Very special. And, he was easy to coach. You just turn around and hand the ball off to him.
I mean, let Chris do what Chris does. And
that's right. And he could play a number of different positions. I mean, he played defense. I mean, he could return. I mean, just had to be careful because, people were targeting him. And, we just, Brent Steiner was a quarterback during that time, and he turned around and handed off to Chris, and he was special and very special.
When you had, talk about that 04 season just a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, before that, let's get into how you got to Campbell County, for one.
Well, I started off, I was in college for a number of years. I coached at the Cumberlands and at Tusculum, and then after Tusculum, I went to Georgia. And then so I got a phone call, I think it was like early spring, and I got a phone call from a couple of people if I'd be interested in coming to Campbell County. And, and then it was just the timing was perfect, I guess. But I wanted to make sure that, I just, we left, I left Cumberland to take a DC job at Tusculum, and my wife was 6 months pregnant.
Wow.
And then I had to go to Greenville, and so we ended up, I had to rush everything, and we got to Greenville in December of, when I got hired, and the boys were born like 6 weeks later. So, and that's how that all, I mean, that was just a new job, new house, 2 new babies.
Basically starting life over in a way.
Yeah.
It seemed that way.
But I ended up, going to Georgia from there, and then got the phone call here, came up and interviewed, and, I just, this is where my family's from here.
Right.
I didn't grow up my entire elementary and all that. I moved here when I was in high school, but my dad's from Stinking Creek, and my mom's from Lick Creek. And but I spent a lot of time down here in the summers, vacations, and I miss Tennessee. I missed East Tennessee, so I had the opportunity to come back here, and they were all in, and and I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be here for just 1 or 2 years.
Right.
If I'm coming here to stay, and because I wanted to. I mean, the history behind. I'm not going to look in the rearview mirror. I'm looking through the windshield. I'm looking straight ahead. So, had a good staff when we started here, and we were building a program. We had at that time we had a freshman team. We had a freshman team, and the kids that were freshmen in 01, when they became in 04 when they were seniors, that's when we went to the playoffs, and had winning record. And that meant so much to the football program, and the coaches that were involved and the players that were involved, and we had a theme. It's called One Heartbeat.
Yes.
And
I still have that shirt, by the way. It does not fit by any means, but we still got it in memory.
Yeah, I keep everything. I got T-shirts. I still have my Letterman's jacket from high school.
Do you really?
It can't fit in anymore. But just it was so special, and watching those young men grow and compete. And 04 is when we got over the hump as far as the record. But in 03, we were good too.
Mm-hmm.
The games, we didn't have a winning record, but we were very competitive. And then we got over the hump in 04. And we finished second in the region. And, at that time we were playing Dobbins-Bennett, Science Hill, Sevier County, Jefferson County, Bearden.
Yep.
And so it was a tough go. But I'll never forget the, in 04 when we hosted a playoff game.
Yes.
And
against Farragut.
Yep. And you would have thought we were playing in the state championship game, and because we'd never experienced that before. Right. And it was really before the game, there was just a lot of fanfare, and I wasn't going to take anything away, and these kids deserved all that.
Right.
And so it was a special year and special time.
So, and of course, that was a year in which some of the guys that my uncle had coached through basketball, I think they were actually on that 04 team. They would have been freshmen at the time. But, I remember the first game that I went to that year, because it's like, okay, they're winning. And then we get to the Bearden game. And there was a guy on that Bearden team, and everyone's going to know this name just when I say his last name.
Yes.
Britton Colquitt. And we're just watching him during warm-ups just absolutely smoke this ball. Like, it seems like it's going 120 feet in the air when he's punting the football. And I think it might have actually been the opening kickoff. Ball comes to Chris Johnson, and he just runs this thing back. Or no, it was the first run of the game. It was the first play from scrimmage. And he had, 175 yards within 3 plays that day. That was one of the most insane things that I have seen still to this day. Like, that's video game stuff. Like, the guy was out there basically playing NCAA football 04 just in real life.
Well, Chris did things that you didn't coach.
Right.
And, he just, he's one of those kids that, in the backyard growing up, he just did his own thing. But, and he had such a great attitude. And we had to be careful about using him too much.
Right.
And, but he was special. And his, at that time, his speed was elite.
Yes.
He could run. But he also was physical. He would run you over. And he'd lay his shoulder down. He had great leg drive. And he could catch the football. Mm-hmm. And he could play defense. So you could just he could have probably played any position on the field. But he was just a special young man.
And he was going to run over, around, underneath, or through you. You were not going to stop him one-on-one.
Yeah,
it just was not going to happen.
And he liked to jump over people too.
I've seen, and when you watch the highlight clips, there actually is a clip on YouTube. Actually, it's not a clip; it's a 10-minute video of his highlights. And I find myself at least twice a year just going back and let's just watch how great this guy was, and it was incredible. And then later on in that year, last game of the year, I think it was one of those deals. If we win, we're in.
Oh yeah.
And of course, at this point, Campbell County has never been to the playoffs. Campbell County had never had a winning season. You beat Carnes, and you're in. Yeah. Coach, I remember 2 things about that game. It was cold, and there was not a lot of offense.
No, there wasn't.
I think the final score was
9-0. I
think it was 6-0.
Yeah, 6-0.
Yeah.
But before that, we had to beat Science Hill.
Right.
And we came from behind to win that game, and we scored. And our offense really came through for us that time. We were throwing the football, to get back in the game. We ended up winning that. But Carnes was good that year. They ran the wishbone, and it was one of those games where as far as running the wishbone or flexbone, whatever you're doing, that's an offense that you're controlling the clock. Right. You're going to try to keep the ball away from the other football team. But I remember that game. I think we ran a fake field goal and got a touchdown on
That's
it.
how it happened.
Yeah. And that wasn't my call. One of my assistants said, "Well, let's do it. Let's do it." And I said,
It wasn't Chris Mays, was it?
No, it wasn't Chris. I think it was David Wampler. I think David was my DC, and David did a great job with the defense during those years. And Chris Schaus was a secondary coach,
right?
And then he later, when David left, he became the DC. But had a good group of coaches that were, they just did a great job, and being surrounded by coaches that loyal, and we're all on the same page. And I always, when I became a head, when you become a head coach for the first time, you start off with, well, what did I learn? What did I learn? Ken Sparks had when I played at Carson Newman, Ken Sparks had a dramatic impact on me, and in a lot of different ways. And so there was an aspect that from him that as far as player relationships and how you as a football coach, and how are you handling yourselves, and how are you talking to young men, and he was a great Christian man. And that's where at Carson Newman is where I gave my life to Christ, and we had player meeting or team meetings at 10 o'clock at night during 3 days, and you probably went through that too.
Yep.
And it was a special time, and that's where I met my wife, and that's the effect that he had on me was the reason I got into coaching. How he impacted young men, and I've always tried to do the. I had to be. I don't want to use the word role model, but I had to walk the walk.
Right.
As far as how I handle myself, and I'm not perfect, but just honoring God in everything that I did in coaching, and because it can get pretty heated.
It can.
And
of course, you were also a Sunday school teacher at Cedar Hill Baptist Church at one point. I remember that because I think it would have been 2010 or 2011.
Yeah,
I was coming up through those ranks.
I was there. My wife and I taught it for I can't remember how many years.
Quite a few.
Yeah. But we had the youth, and half the room was football players.
Well, I mean, I can pretty much name them right now as probably Philip Stephen, Troy.
Yeah.
Tyler Albright was probably one of them. Derek Turner was probably one of them.
Yeah. Preston, Justin Young.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a room full right there.
Yeah, there's half the class.
So I had to see him. I had to see him every day of the week.
I still run into Justin all the time because me and him were on that Carson Newman team together.
Right.
And we just like to just talk about some of the stuff. Just Coach Sparks, he came to one of our meetings during our 3-a-days, and it just there's something about Coach Sparks, and it's hard to put into words what it is, but he never raises his voice. I don't think I ever heard him raise his voice.
No.
But just the way that he could talk to you and meet you at your level, wherever you're at. And that was probably the one head coach that I'm just like, he understood.
You didn't want to disappoint him.
You didn't want to disappoint him. High school ball, I played for Larry Kerr. I mean, everybody knows Larry Kerr and how he coached. And so to go from Coach Kerr to Coach Sparks was quite the
big change.
Shock.
Big change.
But that's not to throw shade at Coach Kerr. He loved us like nobody's business. But talking about Coach Sparks, he instills what you're supposed to be. With how you're supposed to walk with Christ, how you're supposed to lead your household. You name it, Coach Sparks basically taught you or tried to help you in that field or in that journey that you're going through.
Yeah, he was somebody when after I graduated from college and was wanting to look into get into coaching. I went to his house, and this was probably a year after I graduated, or maybe the fall after I graduated. And I said that he was always, it was always Sunday, because I was down there for, this was after I graduated, and I wanted his advice. Mm-hmm. And so the one thing that I remember that he said to me is of all things he talked about was make sure your wife is on the same page you are when you go into coaching, because she's involved in it, and this will be she's got to be somebody that's willing to see what lies ahead and support and what it all takes to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember him telling me that, and never when I was at Tusculum, he was still at Carson Newman, and they were trying to play us, and I said, I ain't playing you. I said, I can't do that right now, and I remember seeing him at different places, and he'd always hug up on me, and you'll remember this. How's your heart?
How's your heart?
How's your heart? Yeah, and and up until when he passed away, didn't get to from time to time, I'd show up on campus and he'd come over and give me a big hug and how you doing, but you just don't forget somebody that has a coach can have such a dramatic impact on your whole life. Because those 4 years, or you're going to be your next 30 or 40 years.
Yeah, I can remember I was a freshman coming in and was doing physicals before we started training.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the team trainers, they'd done something. They thought they'd seen something on my heart. And, of course, I'm terrified. First time being away from mom and dad, whatever. And I go to Turkey Creek up in Jeff City by myself. Thought I was by myself. Just a freshman, just getting in. And I hear somebody talk, and I'm like, that sounds like Coach Sparks. There's no way that he's here. He walks up to me. How's your heart? I said, well, Coach, I'm here because of my heart. He said, no, you're not listening to my question. How's your heart?
Yeah.
I said, it's right. I said, I believe I'm good. He said, well, I'm going to pray for you. And then it was on a Wednesday when I went. He said, now you know what tonight is? I said, yeah. He said, I'll see you at Manly at 6:30.
That's Ken Sparks.
I'll see you at Manly at 6:30. And by George, 6:30 at Manly Baptist Church. I was there, and he was too.
And that's one of those deals, a lot of people don't take that into account. And, the only recollection I can have of that, of course, I went off to, MTSU and stuff, after I got back from basic training. But, at least you had the option, and you had the option. If you wanted to go home, if you really, really wanted to go home, you could go home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fort Benning, Georgia, I was stuck.
Yeah, you ain't going anywhere.
Oh, no. And what people don't realize, too, it's like, oh, well, you can just quit basic training. I'm like, yeah, you can. But here's the thing. You're better off just going ahead and finishing, because it's going to take longer to get you out of there than what it will just to go ahead and finish it.
Yes.
Because when you get there, you're in reception. And that's where everybody goes to first. You got to get your shots, make sure your records are good, and do all that. Well, there are guys that are in reception that have either got sent back because they want to go home, or guys that just decided they didn't even want to go to basic training. They just wanted to stay at reception and wait to be sent home. There were some guys that have been there for 4 and 5 months at this point. I'm just like, yeah, y'all messed up, and now you're just waiting on orders. That's your own fault. But one of the things I wanted to ask you, Coach, too, about the challenges of being a first-year head coach, because not everybody walks into a situation like Philip Fulmer did as he takes over for Johnny Majors. And he had basically been groomed for that job, and then ultimately stabbed Johnny Majors in the back. But there's also the situation where it's like you come in like Bobby Collins at SMU in the 80s when Ron Meyer bolted and went to the NFL. Mm-hmm. So in Bobby Collins' case, the deal with him is he gets to SMU, and he had no idea of the magnitude of what all was going on. And he thought he was getting on a train that was maybe going 100 miles an hour, then finds out it's going 500 miles an hour. And Skip Bayless even said when he went to interview Bobby Collins that he had this overwhelming, just lost look on his face of, where am I going? What am I doing? I don't have any clue what's going on because I'm just an old football coach. Talk to us a little bit about some of the first-year struggles that a head coach might encounter at the high school level.
Well, when you're an assistant coach, you get to sit around the table during the meetings, right? And you just kind of, I wonder what it's like to sit in that chair up there in the front. Mm-hmm. And so you can think about it. You can, this is what I think it's going to be. This is what I expect, and so forth and so on. And I can tell you this, when you sit in that chair, it's completely different. And so, I've had the opportunity to be a head coach at a number of schools, but the first one, it was in college, and but high school, it was I had to adjust. You're recruiting in college, and you're dealing with older guys, and then you go to high school, you're dealing with freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. But the challenges is what are the expectations? You don't want to be. Am I expecting too much or not enough? And I relied on my assistant coaches a lot as far as talking about and doing. What are the parameters and what do we want our culture to be?
Right.
But at the same time, I think as a head coach, you got to be who you are. You can't. There's been Tom Dowling, who was my first coaching job. Tom Dowling was the head coach at Cumberland, but he had been the head coach at Liberty Baptist, back before it became
Liberty University.
Liberty University.
Yeah.
And he was there when Jerry Falwell hired him. And so he had a big influence on me as far as organization. I took care of equipment when I first got into coaching. Then I became a recruiting coordinator, and then I went to him one day. I said, Coach, can I get some help? But he was he wore a tie every day, and we sit around the table. He was so organized in how he went about things, practice schedules, recruiting, and so I took the organizational aspect of it and applied it to my own career as far as how I ran the day-to-day operation of football.
Right.
High school, you've got kids, they're going to school every day. I mean, they're in the classroom. You see them every day. And so what I wanted to do, I wanted to recruit the hallways. I wanted to go out and, anytime I had extra time, why aren't you playing football? Well, why don't you give it a shot? Yeah, give it a shot. If you don't like it,
come on out. Yeah.
If you don't like it, I understand. And recruit your middle school kids.
Oh, I can attest to that.
You got to be. You got to be at the games. You got to. You got to be in the building. And you meet with the kids. And I've always said here, at Campbell County, when we have kids coming from the Follett Middle and we got kids coming from Jacksboro, you need both of them. You need both. Kids coming from both those schools playing together. And the best years I had is when we had that.
Right. And I can remember, too, when I was up at La Follette Middle School, this would have been around 2008, 2009, Stephen Piercy.
Yes.
You actually, I guess he had held the meeting with us because he was the PE teacher at the time up there. And he's like, come on out and then, go up. I think I'd worked out for maybe 3 months up to that point. I think we were just about to the point where spring practice was about to start. And then finally I just looked in the mirror. I'm like, you know what? I played quarterback, but I am 5'6" and about 100 pounds. This is not going to work. And then eventually end up taking up tennis. It worked out well for me, though.
See, I think because my parents made the decision for me to go to Anderson County, it wasn't up to me. If it was up to me, I would have been up there with Stephen and Philip and Troy and, all of my buddies. I've said it many times. Looking back on it, my parents made the best decision for me.
Sure.
But I always enjoyed keeping up with, back then, the games would get over at 10:30. I had a 15-minute drive home. At 11 o'clock, they had their high school wrap-up shows. And it's always, okay, well, what did Stephen and Philip or Troy or Derek or, all of my buddies, what did they do? And that was always really cool to see, because it hurt when I found out I was going to Anderson County. Right. It hurt, because I was seeing your players down at Jacksboro wearing their jerseys and, it was always – I was a Cougar in Little League. I was a Jacksboro Eagle. I was going to be a Cougar again in my mind. And it was always cool just to see those players from the high school down at Jacksboro wearing their Campbell County jerseys. And it's like, man, that's so cool. That sells a lot of kids on it.
Well, a lot of our, the culture that, we had to. A culture is not a slogan. A culture is what are your players doing? How are your players practicing? What are they doing? And then, and those we had, 04, there was close knit group of kids, group of players, and then, of course, with my sons, that you were referring to, is, they'd be down here at Charlie's Pizza with their football buddies.
Yeah.
And they would be at the Mexican restaurant, El Pubs, and so it was more than just practicing together. They hung out together.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be over at the house and and they'd be talking to each other. So you had that culture there. And the thing is, when they became juniors and seniors, they were going to make the younger guys do it the right way too. And so, that was very rewarding, as a father and as a coach. And I can remember we did I don't know what we did down at Whitson's Mall, but we had a big trailer out there, and we had our players and some of the coaches were out there dancing. It was a day before the game, I guess. But fun things and hanging out together. And when if we lost, it hurt.
Oh yeah,
it didn't hurt. It hurt.
It hurt.
It really bothered them. And I can remember the tough losses, but I can remember the wins, the overtime win and against Jeff County. Going to the playoffs for the first time. Beating Sevier County like we beat Powell. We beat some really good teams, and and so I got DVDs at home of all the years I was here, and the years we did highlight films, I got game films, and I'll throw it in, and I'm thinking, these kids up to high school, they weren't even bored.
That's crazy to think about. It's like, I knew who Chris Johnson was.
Yeah.
People after me knew who Chris Johnson was, and you can go up to some of these kids now and be like, have you ever seen Chris Johnson's highlight tape? They're going to think you're talking about Chris Johnson from the Tennessee Titans. They're not thinking about Chris Johnson from Campbell County High School.
Yeah.
But, that's one of those things, it's our duty, as their mentors, it's like, hey, watch this. It's like you have a phone. Everybody's got one now. Just search this and watch.
And what most people, they don't see the inner making of a locker room and, the work that these kids put in. I mean, our players put in a lot of work and just, we ran the Flexbone for a reason. And that was because, we didn't have a Chris Johnson, so to speak, but we had good players. So we were able to, and, we didn't have a whole lot of depth. So by us running the option, we could control the clock, and then we ended up, with depth problems. We didn't want to play kids both ways the whole game because where we got in trouble during those when that group of kids in 07, 08 is we needed to get a lead.
Right.
And if we got behind, we were in trouble.
Right.
And so we just tried to, what the roster we had and trying to accommodate what was the best thing for us to do at the time.
Right.
Of course, things have changed a lot since then.
A lot of different offenses you see nowadays. Do you think we'll ever see a day in which the RPO is run in high school?
It already is.
To the degree that it is, and that we see in college.
I saw it all the time.
Yeah, it's ran pretty heavily. And Anderson County, when Coach Gillum's kid is healthy, they run a healthy amount of RPO.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's just something like back in my day it would just be like non-existent.
Well, you spread the field, and the high school hashes are way out there.
Right.
So, you got a whole mess of the field. But we see it all the time. And then now, you see it in college, obviously, but now what you're seeing is eye candy.
Yeah.
A lot of it. And it doesn't affect, they're just affected. They're making, if you can get a defense to set on their feet and not hesitant about where they're going. And, these little, when they little two-step, throw it out, that's a running play.
Yeah.
It's not a pass. I mean, they're running. And, you don't see the I formation anymore. You don't see you see the wing T, but it's particularly in Georgia.
Right.
You see it all the time, not as much in Tennessee. Everybody wants to everybody thinks it's all about passing, but it's not.
Right.
But, what it is, you could still run the football. And, but you get everybody out of the box. You got 6 in the box, you got 5 in the box, you're going to load the box and play man. And, when you're playing man, that's when you throw the football. And so you can still pull your guards, hand off. You can read the defy technique. And if he's crashing down, you pull it. And, so there's a lot of that's in high school now. And, the bigger schools and the more competitive areas.
That's where you see it the most.
You see, looks like a college.
Yeah.
Man.
Coach, going back to, you were talking about culture.
Yes.
I think that you and your teams had started a winning culture in Campbell County. And then once you had moved on, of course, Matt and Justin come in.
Sure.
And they helped build on that.
They were very successful.
The culture in Campbell County for a span of 15 years, well, no longer than that, probably close to 20 years.
23 years.
Was all win. We're going to give it everything we've got. I know that it's a touchy subject, but what is something that you would like to see in Campbell County now with the way the season is? Seems like the culture might be changing a little bit.
Well, I've heard people say, well, they've had 2 coaches or 3 coaches.
3 and 3.
3 and 3. Yep. But when I left, there was 3 coaches in 2 years.
Oh, there was 3 coaches in like 2 months.
Yes. Yeah. And so, and I still, I talk to Matt and Justin quite a bit. We have great conversations. I actually, their last year, I think in the spring, I helped in spring practice, and just they needed some help, and so I went out there and really enjoyed it. And they're 2 great individuals, and actually I saw Justin a couple of weeks ago and talked to him for a while. I know his wife, and I know their story.
Oh yeah.
And he's got a precious wife, and she's special. And but
like you said, they got to be special.
Yes.
In order to live that lifestyle.
But I know Coach Pemberton, when he came here, I don't know, I'm not in the loop and all that.
Right.
But I do know those guys up there right now, they want to be here.
Right.
They want to be here. And I've been to some games, and I see young kids making young kid mistakes, inexperienced kids making inexperienced mistakes. You got a kid that's hadn't played quarterback.
Yep.
And they're getting better. But in this day and age, when I was coaching, you didn't have social media.
Right.
And these kids see everything. And it's easy to get on and text or respond in a negative way, because you're not going to say it to their face.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I talk to the coaches, and we talk football and just enjoy talking to them. Coach Mays is back.
Yep.
And
he has not changed a bit.
No, he just got grayer.
I was going to say he got a little gray. But if you think, you talk about those conversations, you should hear the conversations he and I have over the stuff, because we get on Facebook quite a bit. In this industry we have to,
sure,
just to gauge what the audience is saying. Listen to our listeners essentially, in a way. And then I get on there and I see some of the negative comments that these grown men are making. Like, I'm talking guys late 30s, early 40s, on into their 50s and 60s, making comments about guys that are 14, 15, 16, 17 years old.
Right.
And it's just like, who hurt you?
Well, coaches can circle the wagon on that stuff.
Yeah.
The kids have a more difficult time, because they sit on their phones, they go out in public, and when I go to high school games, I'm there to watch the game.
Right.
Yeah.
And somebody comes and says, "What do you think?" And you answer in a positive way, the conversation ends.
Yeah.
That's how you respond to it.
Right.
You don't sit there and I love Campbell County. I want to see them be successful, and that's some of the best years that I had were up there on that hill.
Right.
And the most enjoyable years I've ever had. And also family and the young men that I was able to coach and coaches.
Right.
Coach Piercy, he was up there at one time in Mays, and Coach Schaus. Coach Schaus did a great job. He was a great secondary coach, and
a good motivator of young men.
Yeah, he Yeah, he only had to tell you one time.
Yeah, that's the thing is you listen.
See, that's the way Tony Lambert was for me down at Anderson County. I don't know if you know Coach T, but
I worked with him at Cumberland for a year.
Oh, good grief!
Yeah, I sit next to him in the staff meeting.
I'm so sorry.
Unfortunately,
I'm so sorry, but Coach T, I mean, when he says something, he says it one time, and if you don't do it, you're going to know that you didn't do what Coach T told you to do.
He's a great storyteller.
Man alive.
Yeah.
And, this is offhanded, but, Coach Gillum, I recruited him out of high school. I signed him at Tusculum as a freshman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He got injured, and it was my last year there before I went to Georgia, but he ended up I can't remember if he went to East Tennessee State first, but he ended up transferring. I think he ended up at UT. But Davey, I signed him out of high school.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then, see, my junior and senior year of high school, I had Matt and Justin.
Yeah.
Justin was my offensive coordinator at Anderson County, and Matt was the defensive coordinator down at. So it was cool just to see, when Matt and Justin finally got their chance to be a head coach. It's like, guys, y'all are seeing what we've seen down here for the past 2 years. Coach Larry Kerr, I'll never forget the first practice that Justin came in. We're going to spread it, and we're going to get the ball downfield. Coach Kerr, no, you're not. We're lining up in an I formation, whether you like it or not, Justin. And just them two, if you know Coach Kerr, you know Coach Kerr, and if you know Coach Price, you know Coach Price. Two completely different ends of the spectrum.
Right.
And so what we end up doing.
And it both works.
We ended up running I for the first and second down. Third down, we spread it and ran a gun. So it was cool to see, just it getting older. I'm 35. Seeing what football was back then, seeing how you and your staff and the players at Campbell County turned Campbell County football basically on its head into a winning program. And, like I've said, I went down to Anderson County where I came into Coach Kerr. Coach Kerr had his state championship at Halls. When I went to Anderson County, I knew what the expectation was. It had been set before me. We are going to make a run in the playoffs. If you don't, the season's a failure. And to see Campbell County get to that same level with you at the helm and the quality players that you all had at Campbell County, it was truly special to see. I've always said it, when Campbell County's thriving, when Anderson County's thriving, when Jellicoe's thriving, there's no better place to be than that little triangle of area.
It's just one solid unit. Coach Dwayne Wells, his appearance is brought to you by our friends here at Charlie's Pizza. We got to hit our top of the hour break, Coach. You can stay if you want, because I'm
enjoying this.
This segment that we have coming up is now what we call the water cooler, and it's where the show goes completely off the rails. And one of your former players has actually chimed in right here as well.
I have his daughter in my class.
Really?
Yes.
Nice, man.
She's she's a great kid, and Jesse's done well with her. Jesse was part of the 4 defensive linemen that were called the 4 Horsemen.
Right.
And Jesse was a good football player. I wish I could mention them all, but I know I can't.
What do you think about this? Our friend George Hooks chimes in. Coach Wells should be in next year's Campbell County High School Hall of Fame class.
That's not my decision. I just want to see Campbell County be, you talk about, do we need to go to a break here?
No, we can talk about it.
I just, watching, being, was never had a winning season in the history of school, and when you were able to do that, it's not the head coach, it's everybody. And I had a good staff, and I got to give them credit. And those players is just a special time.
Right.
And I think one of the things that the one thing we were able to do is it can be done.
Right.
And
we've seen that.
And Justin and Matt continued that, and it will continue again. You just got to. It takes time to get into the culture, and that their numbers are up, and just getting those kids to get experience and get more competitive.
Absolutely, guys. We're going to hit our top of the hour break. Maybe we need to add Coach the entourage that I have on the sidelines now. I've got Daniel. Maybe we can get Coach that way. If somebody starts giving me grief, I don't have to stand up on a chair and poke them in the eyes if I get in trouble. Sure, I can't help it. It is what it is. Stay with us. Hour number 2 coming up right here on WLAF.
The staff at LUB, La Follette Utilities Board, is there for you. You may be needing new service at your future home. LUB crews bring the experience, know-how, and equipment to put you in service. And when troubles arise, LUB crews are there, no matter the hour or the day, to restore your service. Connect to LUB.org or call 423-562-3316 for assistance on new service, existing service, or to report an outage. Count on LUB to be there.
Right here is where it all started. Right here on this corner. This was the first building for People's Bank of the South. This is where the ideas, tradition, way of doing business, and the mission of taking care of its customers evolved. Then it was on to the new bank with Campbell County's first, a drive-up window. From 1917 to today, People's Bank of the South is here for you. People's Bank of the South is in the heart of La Follette, between La Follette and Jacksboro, near the mall and at North Clinton exit 122. We invite you to come see us at People's Bank of the South, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Since 1917, People's Bank of the South has been providing banking services to our friends and neighbors in Campbell and surrounding counties. Along with traditional services, we offer the latest technology as well, including contactless debit cards, mobile banking, remote deposit, mobile wallets, and more. All this, and we are still here to answer the phone when you call. Stop by and see us today. People's Bank has 3 convenient locations. Our main office is in the heart of La Follette, a second location in Jacksboro near the mall, and our Clinton branch is just off I-75 at exit 122. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
BP is here for you. Rice Oil features BP at Big O's Valley and at Cumberland Crossing BP. BP provides the energy that keeps Campbell County and America moving. Amoco is here for you. Amoco brings you the quality fuel that Americans have been trusting for more than 100 years. Find Amoco at West End Amoco. Save 15 cents a gallon on BP and Amoco every time you use your BP card. Apply today. BP, Amoco, from Rice Oil, La Follette.
This is TCAT Jacksboro President Dr. Debbie Petrie. Our new campus is being constructed, and this is Building A on the right as you enter campus. It'll house administration, student services, classrooms, plus a large meeting room. Building B is at the back of the campus. It is a football field and a half in length, housing welding, power sports, and more. Most of the current TCAT building's original structures will be demolished to make room for the new parking lot. We have a bright future at TCAT.
Get your game plan together and know where to go before an emergency arises. When life trips you up, La Follette Medical Center's FAST ER stands ready to address your healthcare needs. From treating broken bones to caring for life-threatening conditions, the emergency room at Tenova Healthcare's La Follette Medical Center is the ultimate team player. Learn more at TenovaLaFollette.com.
Tennessee Gas is your family-owned and operated one-stop shop, full-service propane and welding supply company. Whether it's a propane tank swap for changing suppliers or a complete new propane tank and service install, Tennessee Gas does it. See the Welding Supply showroom. Ask about leased welding gases, ideal for welding or small car shops. Live and local when you call, and your purchase dollars stay right here at home. Highway 116 on the county line. Tennessee Gas, small enough to know you, large enough to serve you. Keeps your family warm one tank at a time.
At Alco Builders and Realty, we have agents that know the area, that are experts in the local market. It's very important in real estate to have someone on your team that understands the market. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you.
For more than 5 decades, one name has delivered excellence in paving: Boshears. Boshears Paving. From the perfect finish of your home driveway to commercial parking lots to roads for a new subdivision, Boshears Paving handles all types of paving projects. Boshears Paving protects your investment, enhances curb appeal with expert seal coating and precise professional striping. Unmatched quality, reliability, and service you can trust. No matter your paving needs, Boshears Paving is your solution. Call them today, 423-562-2162.
Hi, this is Kim from Bird Screen Printing. You need custom shirts, signs, or banners? Whether it's for school, business, or special event, we've got you covered. We're local, friendly, and ready to help turn your dreams into a reality. Fast, reliable service from folks you know and trust. Come see us at Bird Screen Printing. Let's get your next project started.
Hey, this is Larry Burge. Stop by and see us today in downtown La Follette at 225 East Central Avenue or call 423-562-3044. 562-3044. Go Cougars!
Whether you're a contractor or you're just handling a project around the house or farm, CNO Metal Sales has the best prices in the tri-state. Metal roofing custom cuts as well as delivery are available from CNO Metal. Be sure and ask us about our lifetime warranty on metal. Matt Klein can handle your big or small jobs from one piece of metal to 100. Select from 22 colors. CNO Metal Sales is right behind O'Reilly's Auto Parts in Middlesboro. Just take a left at the first stoplight and CNL is on the right. See or call Matt at 606-248-5744.
This is Matthew Klein, former Cougar number 42. Come see me at CNL Metal.
Since 1963, CNC Concrete has been serving Campbell County and surrounding areas with the best there is in concrete. The best in rock, the best in rebar, the best in sand, the best in pretty much anything pertaining to concrete. That's CNC Concrete. Bobby Crass is his family's second generation of owning and operating CNC. As Bobby says, we hold your dreams, the concrete to your dream home. CNC Concrete, open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. until the job gets done.
Citizens Bank is a locally owned and operated bank serving communities in East Tennessee. The bank was established in 1934 with three guiding principles at its foundation: assurance of safety to depositors, a high standard of service to customers, and a genuine desire to serve the community. These principles are the core factor in the success that has lasted over 85 years and grown Citizens Bank to the renowned financial institution it is today. To learn more about Citizens Bank, visit citizensbank24.com.
Quality and Clayton go hand in hand. That's quality constructed homes from Clayton Homes. The staff at Clayton Homes, located right here at home in Campbell County at Jacksboro, is ready to help you through all the steps of home ownership, from selecting the home that's just right for you to putting the keys in your hand. Since 1956, Clayton Homes has been making dreams come true. See the home folks about your new dream home from Clayton Homes, 110 North Street near Jacksboro Middle School. Call or just come on by.
When it comes to a personal loan, the person you talk to makes a difference. At Community Trust Bank, our loan specialists understand whether you're consolidating debt, covering expenses, making an amazing purchase, or planning that dream vacation. Your reasons are personal. That's why we offer flexible payment options and competitive rates to help make it happen. Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Chris Malone at Doyle's Tire Shop. We invite you to buy the new and used tires and friendly service. We're doing our best to continue the legacy of Doyle's Tire Shop. Come see us on the 4-lane next to Eagle Tire Pro, right between La Follette and Jacksboro. Doyle's Tire Shop. The tradition continues.
Hour number 2, Jake Miller Sports Talk, right here on WLAF. But it's time for the water cooler. You've already got me started. I'm pretty sure there's cat hair on my hat.
Oh.
Nice. Oh, well.
I've got you started.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Already rolling. Matter of fact, it started at about 4 o'clock.
Oh, here we go.
And it was with both of you. We're going to get to that in a minute. First, let's get to a real story. So, a Michigan woman used an AI program, ChatGPT, to generate a set of lottery numbers that earned her $100,000. ChatGPT.
What can't it do?
I
don't know.
No, how? I want to know how that happens.
Matthew,
Make it happen.
Well, I just want to say, Daniel said, "What can't it do?"
What can't
and
it do?
I saw an article last week that integrating Microsoft Copilot or whatever Microsoft's AI thing into Excel, and AI was solving simple math problems, and it did like 2 + 2 = like 17 or something. Yeah, we are cooked. Anyways, continue.
I mean, we truly are cooked. I mean, with the amount of AI, I mean, you can ask your phone anything, and it's gonna.
You really can. I mean, if ChatGPT could give me the jackpot numbers now.
Listen, I've got one.
Yeah.
What you got?
So I was talking to band director up at Campbell County, and he had on these cool sunglasses.
Yeah.
They're the Meta AI glasses.
I want those so bad.
And he was telling me that kids are using these in school now.
To cheat?
To cheat. Because they've got little speakers, they're bone conduction speakers. And so they will take a picture with their glasses, and it will solve the question and spit out the answer.
In their bones?
In their ear bones. I'm serious as a heart
Ears
attack.
don't have bones.
No, it's bone conduction. It's right above your ears, and I'm serious as a heart attack.
And the new Meta glasses actually have screens in them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We're
so
cooked.
yeah,
We're
and
cooked.
so and they make these normal glasses like what Matthew and I wear, and you can't.
You mean like I'm supposed to be wearing? They're just in my truck and have been in my truck for years and years.
And my
years.
question is how can you tell, like, if a student in high school wears these glasses?
You can't.
How can you tell them they cannot wear those glasses? You can't. They are a medical necessity.
Well, it's like in baseball. You know, they've banned sunscreen in baseball. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yeah.
But they banned sunscreen. And the reason being is because sunscreen, what does it make your hand? It makes it a little bit more tacky. So you're going to get more grip on the baseball that way if you're a pitcher. But here's the thing. If you do a mixture of sweat and rosin, it does the same thing. You can't ban sweat, and they give you a rosin bag. So how do you combat that?
Can't.
Exactly. But in other news, family out in Colorado.
Now, this is some Reynolds top stuff right here.
So imagine this.
I can already tell.
Your cat kills a mouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Cat usually drops it where you can see it. Why? Because they want to show off their trophy.
Yeah, they're proud of it.
Now imagine that cat dropping the mouse in a pot of cooking soup that you have been preparing for 2 hours.
I think my initial comment, this sounds like a Reynolds get together.
So in this situation, who is cooking the soup?
Out of our family?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who would you trust to cook it?
Probably my Mamaw Joy.
That's a good one.
And it still would have, like, everybody still would have ate it and not even batted an eye.
Probably. I don't know, Mom. No, we ain't eating Missy's cooking. No. Sometimes you can get it really good. Other times it's really bad.
Missy, he said it.
Listen, Mom, all I'm saying, I like my chili hot. I like it hot. Last time I had it, it was pasty. And there was no spice to it.
Listen, Darlene Collins, I love you. You cook amazing. You can cook for me every meal. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm in trouble later. It is what it is.
I'm just waiting for Matt to pop up with Missy's comment on here.
Sorry, Ma. Love you.
Let me know how that one goes over.
But, we talk about, the story about how this lady used ChatGPT to win $100,000.
That's insane.
Can we get it to spit out the jackpot numbers? That way it's a $250 some odd $1 million payout and keep me off of I-40.
I think at
some point, for the love of all things good.
I mean, at what point, though, does OpenAI start claiming some of the proceeds of some of the stuff that ChatGPT is doing?
I'll give the developer of ChatGPT $50 and a full tank of gas if it'd get me off of I-40.
I mean, you got to think like...
I feel like that's a good trade-off.
On X, you've got Grok.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, does Eli get a portion of if Grok spits out something that ends up being $1 million idea?
Oh, that money's nothing to him.
But still, you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like, the creators of these AIs, I mean, at what point do they start claiming that if you win something off of something their programming done, do they have any rights to it?
But AI is trained off of things that are already established. So then you go back to that, because AI has not gained all this information on their own. They've gathered it from, they've scoured the websites, including our own, and YouTube and everywhere. Reddit.
Well, I mean, and too, like, you know, I get to the whole keep me off I-40 thing because
here we go.
Quite frankly, we'll call it like it is. If I won the jackpot tonight, do you think I'm dealing with I-40 ever again?
No.
On a daily basis?
No, you're going to buy a helicopter just so you can fly over I-40 and
so
laugh
I can
at all those
fly
people.
to work.
No, you wouldn't work. Here's what you would do if Jake Miller won the lotto.
You think that I would go buy a helicopter? And Noah Smith is going to fly it?
Yes. Noah would be...
No. He plane only. I don't know about helicopter.
Well, we'll say that Noah can fly a helicopter.
Noah, I'll buy you a Cessna, man.
So Noah's your personal pilot. He's your personal producer.
Mm-hmm. You're the idea guy.
Yeah, I'm the idea guy.
Put that on a business card, people.
Yep.
We're going to get business cards made for this show. It's going to be the guy.
Him.
Jake Miller. The wizard. Matthew Moore. The idea guy.
Me. That's all I bring. All I bring is ideas.
Great ideas,
actually.
Write that down. Oh, man. But in all seriousness, guys, someone spit me out some jackpot numbers, please. The traffic today was terrible. And you know what bothers me more than anything, guys?
What?
You know when there's a fender bender on the interstate because nobody's paying attention because nobody knows how to zipper? Keep that in mind. The way you merge onto the interstate is you zipper one car after another. That way it keeps the flow of traffic going steadily. Well, people don't know how to do that, right? So then there's a fender bender. What happens when there's a fender bender? People will pull off to the side of the road, and guess what? Everybody is rubbernecking from that point on because they got to slow down. They got to see what's going on. They have to know what's happening. It has nothing to do with them, has nothing to do with their day, and they cannot mind their own business and go on down the interstate. That is the most frustrating part about driving on Interstate 40 each and every single day, and it bothers me so bad. It's not hard.
Matthew, how many calls a week do you get from this one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Every time he's on the road.
Yeah. Man, I-40 is a disaster. It is just about every day.
Well, and then you don't have to completely bow up and stop when you go to get off of an exit.
Jake, you should come by the studio sometime this week or next week, and let's just make a PSA for how to zipper merge and how to act in traffic, like how to drive.
What, traffic etiquette?
Yeah, traffic etiquette.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Or what we could do is just record Jake's truck and be like, if you see this truck, get out of his way.
Yes, this is like giving the ball to Michael Jordan. You just give him the ball and you get out of the way.
Tim Cook.
Well, no, that's like, I was a little late getting to the game on Friday, right? Like later than what I normally am. Because, Matthew, I'm usually there, about 4:30, 5 o'clock at the latest.
A little bit.
I didn't show up till almost what?
It's close to 6.
Exactly.
5:30, 6 o'clock.
And you know what that was from? It was from traffic. I almost called Matthew saying, hey, can we get someone from the sheriff's department or a highway patrolman to give me an escort to the high school? Like, that's how close I was cutting it that day.
Man.
We almost had to have you call in to the show
today
to start to host it.
Well,
that could have been a possibility.
Oh, no, you would have had me. The Jake Miller Show presented by me, the idea guy.
Well, today was a little bit different. And which, by the way, I almost wish I'd work in Maryville or Alcoa now because traffic from the airport is nowhere near as bad as coming from Lenore City.
No. Lexi, be safe.
Absolutely. She's in the air right now. She's
yeah, no. Well, she may watch it.
Here comes the wizard. Checking in from the plane. Nice. She's on the plane.
Yes, she's on the plane.
She's listening to the show on the plane.
That's dedication.
That is dedication.
You better marry her.
I don't know where to take the show from there. Usually I've got a way to to gear it towards something. And it's like, all right.
Okay, here we go.
If you want to keep Jake from having to have crash outs on I-40, how can
like Jay Uso level crash outs?
How could people that maybe have a business support the show.
Well, all they have to do is, send an email to thejakemillernews@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook. I'm not hard to find. Find Matthew on Facebook. Find Daniel on Facebook. Heck, you can even message the station.
Yeah.
WLAF.
Call us. Call, message, email.
Matter of fact, I'll even give you a Venmo. If you just want to give me like $5, I don't care. Keep me off of I-40. Matthew, what we need to do within the next week is we need to develop a QR code, and we're going to put it right where are my hands. We're going to put it right there, right above WLAF. And what it's going to say is the Jake Miller Anti-I-40 Fund.
Right there.
What's this going to stop about I-40? Nothing. And it's not even the Tennessee drivers that make it bad. It's everybody that has moved here from California.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They wanted to move out here to get away from what they had. Well, guess what? They should have left their traffic with them. Where am I wrong? Where am I wrong?
Listen, I feel that way about wake boats on North Lake, so. If you want to get me going, I will start comparing your I-40 to me in my little boat fighting with wake boats that are throwing 5-foot wake for no reason, so somebody's 3-year-old grandkid can get out there and fly through the air like he's Superman. Wash me on the bank while I'm sitting there yelling certain words at them.
And folks, this is the water cooler, and the sign falling down behind us could not represent this segment any more in an appropriate manner than what it just did. It's literally where the show falls apart, goes off the rails. We just spent 20 minutes talking about ChatGPT, the lottery, a cat putting a mouse in soup, and I-40. And then Daniel completely just knocking me off of my train of thought.
Lexi, I'm trying, I promise.
I ain't going to try too hard. Stay with us.
We've lost Jake.
Sometimes it just be like that, Daniel. Stay with us. Jake Miller Sports Talk continues right here on WLAF.
At Alco Builders and Realty, we have agents that know the area, that are experts in the local market. It's very important in real estate to have someone on your team that understands the market. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you.
For more than 5 decades, one name has delivered excellence in paving: Boshears. Boshears Paving. From the perfect finish of your home driveway to commercial parking lots to roads for a new subdivision, Boshears Paving handles all types of paving projects. Boshears Paving protects your investment, enhances curb appeal with expert seal coating and precise professional striping. Unmatched quality, reliability, and service you can trust. No matter your paving needs, Boshears Paving is your solution. Call them today, 423-562-2162.
E.E. Hill & Son Insurance.
You know, the insurance agency started out as Hill Insurance, and it was started by my grandfather in 1925.
Celebrating 100 years in 2025.
I went into the insurance business with my dad and my Uncle David in '74 after I got out of UT. Then I bought the agency from my dad in '77.
It started as father and son.
Most people think that E.E. Hill & Son is my dad and me, and it's not. It was my granddad and my dad.
And 100 years later,
our agency's been blessed to be in a community that has embraced our agency, and we have had some of the most amazing employees.
Go Cougars!
When you think loans, think green and look for us under the big green sign. First National Bank on the 4-lane La Follette. Our hometown staff welcomes you by today. See Brian. Ask for Carrie. Look for Beth behind the counter. Or see Taylor at the drive-thru. First National Bank Oneida. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Your family, your future, your bank. First National Bank. Cougar fans, get your First National Bank orange and blue Cougar debit card.
At
Grace Rehab, we have one goal in mind: to improve your quality of life. We provide physical, occupational, and speech therapy for all ages. Grace's therapy and treatment plans are individualized for each patient.
Well, my doctor didn't think I would be to this point at this time, and I wouldn't have been had it not been for the rehab center here at Grace.
Oh, I like all the people that's here, and they've been real nice, and I've had a ton of fun with them.
Grace Rehab, we want to help you feel your best.
Hi, my name's Amanda Pemberton. I'm a lifelong Campbell County native, former Lady Cougar. I'm a personal lines agent here at Gray Insurance. I would love to help you out with all your home, auto, life insurance, and health needs. We're an independent agency, so we can offer you a wide variety of companies. Come see me and I'll be glad to help you with all your insurance needs. Thanks.
I'm Daniel Dagley, and it's that time of year again. Come see us at Gray Insurance for all your health care needs.
And welcome back. Jake Miller Sports Talk, WLAF, presented by the Marlowe Agency. Guys, give them a call today at 423-352-7735. Let them know you heard about it right here on Jake Miller Sports Talk. We're going to get into a little bit about what happened on Friday with Campbell County. Of course, Campbell County homecoming against Sweetwater. Campbell County ultimately drops another one, 34-6, in which it seemed like, this might be a winnable game for us. And then, we line up, and Sweetwater, I think, was a lot faster and stronger than what we had expected coming out of the gate.
They seemed like they were, I don't want to say more focused. They might have been a little bit more prepared. We'll say that. They were more prepared for the moment than Campbell County seemed to be. It is what it is. I mean, Coach O said that his players had a good week of practice, and I'm sure they did. Sometimes football's just how it goes. I mean, one team comes out, they might have had the best week of practice they've had all season, and Sweetwater rolled into Campbell County and had a little bit more fire in them.
I guess so. And then, of course, the homecoming festivities, and this is not to take away from anything, but, when you have the homecoming festivities before the game, that's more time you're in the locker room. That's more time your body and your muscles are tightening back up, and you're not going to be as loose when you go out onto the field. And ultimately, I think that's what happened. Coach O, obviously first-year head coach, having to take over as the third head coach in 3 years. And, as we talked with Coach Wells, that's a tough job. That's a very tough job. Because now – you got guys that have been up there, and, like I said earlier in the year, it's almost like, you go adopt a puppy from the shelter. Well, it's already had 2 owners. It's like, come up here and get on the couch. Well, I don't know if I can do that or not.
Yeah,
it's like, no, you can do that. Like, come here. It's like they don't know what they can and can't do because they're taught 3 different things, by 3 different coaches. So, you just, at this point, you just feel bad for the kids. You feel bad for the coaching staff because, obviously they want to be there. And, it just all around, it just stinks. There's no other way to put it.
It's tough. Coach O and his staff, I'm sure, are, they've taken this week off. From my understanding, the players have this week off to kind of recover and heal some, which is always great to have. I can remember when I had fall break, we weren't allowed to travel on fall break because we had practice the whole week of that. But, I'm sure that Coach O is letting his players, if they want to come work out, you can, just kind of stay in game shape. But it is what it is. Campbell County came out, it was close to 30-0 at half. Campbell County put up a score late in the fourth to get on the board, get the goose egg off, which that helped. Campbell County, of course, in the bye week this week. Next week we've got Halls rolling in. It's going to be a tough game for Campbell County. Halls, of course, beats Carnes. Beat the brakes off of Carnes, which Carnes beat the brakes off of Campbell County. And then the week after, it doesn't get any easier with
William Blunt, and that will close out the season on Halloween night. But, of course, also this weekend, of course, Tennessee coming off a win this past weekend against Arkansas. And, I said last week before we went off the air, I said, I think we win, but I don't think we cover. And, of course, it was a 12.5-point spread. And at one point, I think I'd even said Tennessee's going to win. It might be by 10, but it's not going to be by covering the spread. And it looked like it was going to be that for a while. It looked like it was going to end, 34-24. Arkansas puts up a touchdown late. And even though there was 3 minutes left, they had their timeouts. There was a part of me that was like, Bobby Petrino is the kind of guy that's going to do an onside kick.
He's going to do something crazy.
Yeah, and it just never happened. But the craziest thing that came out of Saturday was the headsets. Oh, not talking about Texas. That happened too. Yes, Texas beat the brakes off Oklahoma, but
I'm just going to sit here like this the rest of this.
Don't do that. You're going to get arms are going to get tired, and I'm going to have bed sores from sitting so long. That's what's going to happen. But ultimately, one of the things that got brought to my attention after the game, it's like, yeah, Arkansas had a headset issue. I'm like, what do you mean a headset issue? It's like Tennessee couldn't use their headsets essentially because Arkansas couldn't use theirs, is what I was told. And then you start reading the articles, it's like,
Tennessee was having the headset issues, and then, according to the broadcast,
right,
Tennessee was the one that was having headset issues, and Arkansas was forced to put theirs.
Even though Joey Aguilar got knocked into Arkansas's comm system.
Yes.
Which, dirty play, by the way. Arkansas, dirty team. Dirty team.
Did you see the one thing that happened on the sidelines? If not, I'll have to tell you about it afterwards.
Arkansas sideline or Tennessee sideline?
Arkansas sideline.
I was sitting over on that end. I saw a lot.
Yeah, I can't talk about it on air. But
no, I think I know what you're talking about, and we're not going to talk about that on air.
There was some stuff that went on that sideline that just...
Yeah.
It was not... It wasn't... It was Bush League.
Yeah, it was. No, 100%.
So, it was. Tennessee walked away with a win, though. Let's get on to the third Saturday of October.
And that will be this Saturday, Tennessee taking on Alabama. Alabama right now a 7.5-point favorite in this game. Tennessee has not won in Tuscaloosa since 2003 when Casey Clausen led the team to a 5-overtime victory, saving the game. And I think it was the second overtime. Tennessee had the ball. It was 4th and 19. It's like, okay, it's like we're beat. And then he finds, I think it was C.J. Phaeton on like a 25-yard dart to get it down to the 10. And it's like, okay, see what we can do. Tennessee scores, ultimately ends up winning the game 51-43 in the year 2003. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm not making the trip this weekend. I'm going to wait and make the trip up to Kentucky the following week because I'm not going to go down to Tuscaloosa.
It stinks.
It does. It stinks. Like, that's the one thing that Florida and Alabama have in common. They both stink. Have you ever been to Gainesville?
Yes.
You know what them people smell like?
Stank.
Like, imagine this. Go to Walmart. Go buy you a can of Wet Old Roy dog food. Open it up and get you a big whiff. That's what Gainesville smells like. It smells like Old Roy.
I was going to say more like that Swedish fish. Have you seen that on?
Swedish fish?
It's a canned Swedish fish. It's canned fermented.
Oh, you're talking about surströmming.
Have you ever smelled it?
No, I don't want to.
Holy mother of the Lord. That's what Gainesville and...
Matthew, have you ever smelled surströmming?
No, but I have an imagination.
No, you don't.
No?
No.
I mean, Kentucky fans smell like durian fruit, so...
No. It is the absolute worst smell. Granted, I've raised a kid.
Don't worry, Matthew. You're next.
Who said that?
Daniel.
No, I don't know. I was talking with you the other day about Jake Miller 2.0, so...
Jake Miller 2.0 would be... man.
You got to hear my little kid talking to me.
Yeah.
My son is...
that is Daniel Collins 2.0. That is Daniel 2.0.
He's a mess, and you're next up, and...
I mean, here's the thing. Is there ever a point where you look at him and you're like, that is my fault, that is me, and there is nothing I can do about it?
All the time. I mean, some of the stuff he says, I'm like, I know he shouldn't say it, but I can't do anything but laugh because I know he's saying it because he's heard me say that same stuff.
Well, and my favorite thing that I've ever heard is Weston, my best friend. He sends a video to our group chat one day, and it's of his youngest son, and he's doing somersaults down a hallway in a hotel. He's like, why is he doing this? I didn't say anything. Well, then he's like, at random times, he'll just come up, skibbity bye bye boo. And I'm like, and he's like, I don't know where he gets this from. I'm like, buddy, I know exactly where he gets it from. You were doing that in college. He's going to be doing that for the next 20 years of his life, and it's all your fault because you did it, and now you are having to reap what you have sown.
Listen, I've got a video of Caden when he was much younger. And if I can find it, I'll show it to you.
But jumping back to the third Saturday in October.
Here you go.
Let's see what we got here. That is you. Bless. That is you.
Singing Jolene.
Well, you are wearing, where's your hat? You had the Dolly.
Yeah, I've got my Dolly Parton hat. My kid here, he was probably 2 or 3 singing Jolene and Nothing But a Diaper, a Blippy shirt, holding a ukulele and singing his heart out.
That is you. That's you. You created that.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see what a Jake Miller 2.0 would look like. Matthew's shaking his head, yeah.
Oh, boy.
You know Missy would love it.
What's that?
You know Missy would love it.
Yeah, until she gets called Mamaw Missy.
Mamaw Missy.
Yeah, Mamaw Missy. Goodness. But now, jumping back to Tennessee, Alabama, I look at this game, and quite frankly, I don't see a scenario in which Tennessee wins. I don't see it.
I know I said that Tennessee would win out.
That's until Ty Simpson decided he was going to peak.
Until he decided to become the leading candidate for Heisman this year.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
No, we thought after the Florida State game earlier in the year that they were cooked.
And then Ty Simpson apparently just becomes the Heisman.
Just out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
The running back might be out for Saturday.
Yeah, but
I mean, I want to say good. It's not really good. You'd never want anybody to get hurt. But at the same time, that can only work to Tennessee's advantage. And
but our corners, I mean, we've still got Gerard McCoy out. We've got 2 or 3 other defensive injuries. I mean, it's like we've not been able to cover the pass all season.
Well, here's the thing. It's like when they do come back, how do you look at Colton Hood and say, hey, we appreciate what you did, but you got to go back on the bench? I don't think you can do that to him right now.
No, I mean, according to the latest draft prospects or draft order, Tennessee's got 4 in the top 30 or top 32, and Colton Hood's one of them.
I mean, he's been playing lights out.
You've got Colton Hood, Gerard McCoy, and our defensive end.
Joshua Josephs.
Yeah. And then I can't think of the 4th one right off. But, I don't know what you do. I mean, I don't know.
If Tyree West could max his potential, he'd be on that list too.
Yeah.
Tyree West is a fantastic football player. We just got to see it.
What year is Boo Carter? He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
So next year should be Boo's
last.
Yes.
Because,
I mean, as Boo Carter, there's not a more electric return man, I don't think, in college ball than Boo Carter.
There's not, but at the same time,
that attitude, though.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, like, if you're going to play football, whether it be at any level, middle school, high school, college, NFL, you have to have discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, earlier in the year, it's like you have to make the argument. It's like, okay, is he worth the headache? If he's making game-breaking plays, if he is changing the outcome of games, then you might be able to justify, okay, he's worth the headache.
Yeah.
It's just like, you look at, some of these guys that have come through, earlier in the 2000s, like Travis Henry, worth the headache.
Oh, yeah.
Travis Stevens, worth the headache.
Jamal Lewis,
worth the headache.
Arian Foster,
worth the headache.
I mean, who else? Tyler Bray,
worth the headache.
You've got
Dayrick Rogers.
Yeah.
He was worth it. Cordero, worth it.
Yeah, Cordero. I'm drawing a blank.
Jalen Hurd.
Yep.
Worth the headache.
Yeah, I mean,
he just flat out walked out on the team, but.
Yeah, I mean, you've got there. Sometimes it's worth it. I mean, Henry To'o.
Mm-hmm. He would have been worth the headache.
He would have been worth the headache. I mean, he went to Alabama.
I know we paid him, and that's why he left. But at the same time, it's like, he was still on that team when all that was going on. Like, he could have stayed.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they were targeting him as much as they were like Eric Gray and like Wanya Morris, Keyshawn Lawrence, and the guys that it was obvious with.
Yeah, but, I mean, look at Henry. He goes to Alabama. He's in the league now.
Yeah.
I mean, he was that top. I mean, yeah, he might have caused some headaches for Tennessee.
Cousin Anthony chimes in. Great show. I believe the Tennessee versus Alabama football game will be close. It very well might be.
I'm glad that somebody thinks that because
I like it when I'm wrong on certain things.
I'm taking this as like a 14 to 21 point loss for Tennessee.
You think so? You think it's that much of a loss?
It depends on which Alabama shows up.
This is true.
If it's the Alabama that's been as of late, it's a 14 to 21 point game.
100%.
If it's Alabama from earlier this season, Tennessee wins.
Absolutely. Now, which Tennessee team are you going to get, though?
That's
the question. That's the other question.
See, I think that goes back to Coach Heupel. I love Coach Heupel. I really do. And I know you do too. But
sometimes
his play calling for the past probably 3 or 4 games in the second half have just been abysmal. The clock management, awful.
The clock management is Les Miles level bad.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're a little bit younger and you've not been around college football or not watched that much college football, I encourage you to go watch on YouTube after this show is over, because I don't want you turning away from the show. We like it when you're here.
Yeah.
Look up Les Miles' worst clock management, and you will see some of the worst clock management probably in the history of sports.
It's bad.
Like, not just football, like at the collegiate level, but all of football and all of sports. Bad.
Yeah, it's horrible, and we're getting there with Coach Heupel. And I love Coach Heupel. I think he's worth every dime we're paying him because of what he's done. But it just seems like we've beat Alabama 2 years with him. It's awesome.
Beat Florida twice.
Beat Florida twice. But for some reason, whenever we're playing a top-tier program, I never feel comfortable saying we're going to win. Where if you look at
the only time that I ever was comfortable was 2022 Alabama. That was the only time I was comfortable saying that.
And if you look at Alabama, the way they look at Tennessee, they expect to win.
Yes, it's like us versus Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
They just expect to beat us.
Yeah, they expect to beat us. We don't expect to beat Alabama. That's why we rush the field. We do all this crazy stuff, which the first time we did it was awesome.
The second time, it's like, why are we doing this now?
Yeah, the second time, it's like, okay, well, why are we doing it now? But as a Tennessee fan, I want to go in expecting to win. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer or whatever saying, I don't think we're going to win.
No, I mean, I'm still going to go buy my cigar regardless. I'm going to go buy it. I'm going to have it ready for Saturday just in case.
There's going to be...
And then Matthew's going to smoke one with me after we win.
All right.
And you're going to smoke one.
You buy it, I'll smoke it.
I don't buy cheap ones either, man.
Bring them on.
That's the thing about me. Is when I go at something, I go all out. Kind of like Charlie's with that chicken bacon ranch, man.
That barbecue chicken too, though.
They went all out with both of those, man.
They
Golly,
did.
That is insane. Les, the guy that originally started a sports talk show here, I do believe. Is that not right, Matthew?
Yeah, correct.
When it was Just Sports? Literally, that was the name of the show, Just Sports. Les Martin. Hey, guys, great show. So I think Brent was actually on that show with him. Was he not?
Yeah.
So, and Les has his cigar ready. Les, you're invited too, man. Come on. If you got it, come on. But that was actually the first show that I ever called into. It was Les and Brent one night on WLAF because, you know, Mamaw's house.
Yeah.
Channel 12 was always on, and I was like, oh, these guys are talking sports. So, like, I think I was in ninth grade. Like, ninth grade, Jake actually called into that show.
I think my first thing I called into was with good old Fat Pat, wrestling talk.
Oh, man.
Him and Luke Petrie and a few others. I think that was my first.
Speaking of wrestling, we were getting closer and closer to the end of John Cena's career. Our buddy Shane chimes in. Hey, Jacob. Hey, Daniel. Awesome show tonight. Shane, we appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, Shane.
Who is your championship for this year? That's a tough one, but I don't know. It's kind of early to tell. I mean, we can give away too early. I'm thinking Ohio State's won.
Yeah, Ohio State, I mean, they've been, I hate to say it, but they've been the most consistent. I don't know if I give it to the U. I don't know if I can. I don't know. You know what? I know
what I'm getting Matthew for Christmas. I just thought of it when I was doing that. I'm going to get you a turnover chain for Christmas.
I know. I've got my... I'm going to call it. You ready for this?
Yep.
Ole Miss.
You think Ole Miss is going out of the SEC?
I do.
You don't think Lane Kiffin's going to Lane Kiffin himself?
With all the rumor talk of Lane going here, Lane going there.
I think, honestly, Lane has got it made where he is. But if there is one job that he would take, and it might win his ex-wife back, it's Florida.
If Lane
His wife was a cheerleader at Florida.
Yeah. If Lane wins, he stays. He'll get a lifetime at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have that much money, but they'll fork out whatever they need to at that point.
That is my way too early, and I'll take it as a way too early. I'm not putting that as my absolute by no means. But with the way that they've got dual quarterbacks, both of them are pretty good.
Both of them are really good.
Both of them are really good. It depends. This weekend they've got a big game, I believe. I can't remember who.
Georgia.
Yeah. If Ole Miss gets past Georgia this week, they'll make a deep run, possibly coming out of the SEC.
I mean, and you look at some other teams, too, in the top 25. I mean, we can run down the list, the top 10 right here. You got Ohio State, Miami, Indiana, Texas A&M, who's playing some really good football right now.
Yes, they are.
Ole Miss at 5, Alabama 6, Texas Tech. Okay, you're good again. They're good again.
I know.
But you got to think they're not in the Big 12 of old.
No.
They're not. Oregon, Georgia, LSU, and then Tennessee coming in at number 11. So, I mean, we're a fringe playoff team right now. Les chimed in. He says Indiana, Ohio State, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. That would be a fantastic Final Four.
Yeah, I could see that just because of who Indiana has the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I think.
That was the problem with making the Big Ten too big.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the biggest problem with that is when you made this new format of college football that we made, we have essentially 4 super conferences. The Pac-2, now essentially Washington State and Oregon State. That's just, first of all, that's just sad.
Yeah.
Second of all, you got how many teams in the Big Ten now? 20?
Something like that.
That does not need to happen under any circumstance ever.
No.
Because you're going to have, I mean, there's a possibility you have 3 teams go undefeated that don't play each other.
Which doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make for good content.
No, it doesn't. I mean, at least in the SEC,
that creates controversy, which controversy creates cash. We all know that.
SEC, I feel more comfortable with the way the SEC is. Mm-hmm. You know, we're just one big conference. There is no more East and West conference.
I still wish they'd have done the pod system, which we kind of have it. But it's not really.
You're going to have the best of the West playing the best of the West. You got the best of the East playing the best of the East. And then you're going to have the best of the West versus the East for the SEC championship. Well, you'll have the top 2 but I'm just assuming that the top 2 will be one from each area.
Right. And it's most likely probably at this point it's going to be either Texas A&M and Ole Miss or probably, I mean, you got to almost argue that if Tennessee does win out, that Tennessee's going to be in Atlanta.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it would be what I think would be awesome is to see Ole Miss versus Tennessee in the SEC championship just for the rematch. The rematch. Lane Kiffin against Tennessee. You talk about headlines.
Do we want those headlines?
Absolutely. You give me a mustard bottle, I'd be all over it.
I don't know if we necessarily want that. That's the thing. I don't know if we necessarily want that. Which, by the way, at the game on Saturday, I did see a guy get walked out of the stadium because we're sitting second row, upper deck on about the 15-yard line. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, here comes a Twisted Tea can just flipping. I'm like, really? Because, like, Ole Miss, nobody said anything because everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
You do it now, it's like, really, guy? So everybody's pointing at the guy, and I'm like sitting here, I'm trying to look. I'm like, who threw that? And they're all pointing at one guy. Well, they finally get the cops down there, and they get the guy up, and he's wearing a jersey that's half tucked in and half not tucked in. So it's like he's gone. Like, his mental state is just gone. He stands up. On the nameplate on the back of his Tennessee jersey, it says days sober, and the number was 0.
That's perfect.
You couldn't paint a better picture for getting kicked out of a Tennessee football game than being number one, an idiot, then number two, dressing like an idiot, and number three, having that jersey on.
That's crazy. All right, we want to do some picks?
We're going to do some picks. What time is it? It is 7:51.
Well, we can start with Tennessee, Alabama. You want to?
Yeah, let's do that. Tennessee, Alabama. Alabama, a 7.5-point favorite. I do not like this for the Vols. Daniel, what say you?
I don't like it for the Vols. Vols lose, but we cover.
I think Tennessee feeling hopeful. I think we can get a repeat of history in a good way. I think we can get. I think we're going to see maybe not another 2003, but I think we might edge them out just a little bit.
I'd like to see it go to overtime.
Yeah,
I can do that. You know what? Give me the Tennessee money line. Give me the Vols. Give me the Vols.
So I'm the only one taking Alabama.
Yes, mainly. I really want to smoke that Cohiba Red Dot. They're good. They are really good. And then, of course, we have the game we just talked about. Ole Miss, number 5 in the country, taking on number 9 Georgia. Georgia, a 7.5-point favorite in this. Daniel, you kind of got to go with Ole Miss in this one, not only to cover but to win, because you have them as one of your Final Four teams.
I do.
You're basically riding the lane train all the way to the Final Four.
Hotty toddy.
Matthew.
Georgia.
You want Georgia?
Yeah.
To win or to win and cover?
Both.
I'm going to take Georgia to win but not cover. Oh, boy.
I can respect that, Jake.
I don't know how I feel about this spread. Texas A&M 6-0 travels to 2-4 Arkansas. Texas A&M, of course, number 4 in the country. A&M is only a 7.5-point favorite. Of course, Arkansas no longer being coached by Sam Pittman. You wouldn't believe. But Bobby Petrino is a snake.
Give me Bobby.
To win?
Yep. In a statement win.
You think he gets the job after this?
Yes.
Like permanent head coach?
Yes. He wants it. I think this is the game.
Oh, of course he wants it. That's why Johnny Majors.
I think
Sam Pittman.
He wants it. I think this is the game he gets it.
Matthew,
Texas.
You going to Texas A&M?
Texas A&M.
I wouldn't believe if you told me that the University of Arkansas was going to win this game, and they're not going to win. I'm going Texas A&M to win and cover.
Jake says gig 'em.
No, I do not. Texas A&M is going to win. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to be like them people. Them people are weird. Oklahoma, number 14 in the country after getting absolutely throttled by Texas last week. Travels to South Carolina, 3-3. Oklahoma only a 5.5-point favorite in this game. That game kicks off at 12:45. I like South Carolina.
Give me Beamer.
Oklahoma.
Mateer is not. He did not look like himself. I don't care what they say.
Mater.
He is not 100%. And that's why I'm taking Sellers and South Carolina.
Okay, Daniel, first of all, I want you to pretend it is the year 2005. Okay?
I was a freshman in high school. Okay, go ahead.
You have LSU taking on Vanderbilt, in which Vanderbilt is a 2.5-point favorite.
I'm never picking Vanderbilt.
I won't pick Vanderbilt. I'm going LSU on the money line. LSU wins.
LSU money line.
Yeah.
So we're going to do one more, and we're going to make it Missouri and Auburn. Missouri, number 16 in the country, only a 1.5-point favorite on the road against Auburn, who is 3-3.
You know who I'm going with.
WDE.
I've said every game. WDE.
Auburn.
Missouri.
All right, there you have it, guys. Once again, we do not encourage you to place a bet on any of these games. We are not encouraging betting. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. And as we get ready to close up shop today.
And just so people know, we are not betting on these between us. Between us, we are, but like us three, we are not betting for anything between us three.
I mean, I usually don't place bets on anything that we've talked about on the show.
So we are just doing this just for fun. Let's make that clear. I've had some people ask. We are not trading money between hands about some of this stuff. So
no, if that were the case, then I wouldn't be on I-40 every day.
And I would have quite a bit more money because I've picked some random teams that have somehow won.
I did pretty good last week, actually. I had a really good week.
I did okay. I chose Texas, so.
Yeah, I think you were the only one that chose Texas.
I was.
Or no, Matthew, you?
No, he chose Oklahoma.
He did, didn't he? Huh.
No, he chose Oklahoma.
Man alive. So, as we close out, and as you can tell, I'm a little tired. That's another reason to keep Jake off of I-40.
That I-40 traffic gets Jake every day.
It gets me every single day. Now, there are times where it's like I just want to get in my truck and go to sleep. Like I just want to pull off on the exit in like Raccoon Valley, go to the truck stop over there and just take a nap.
Take a brief 30-minute nap. Speaking of, Jake calls me yesterday on your way home.
I don't even remember what I had for breakfast, dude.
He says, "What you done?" My exact words were, "Jake, I just woke up from the most glorious nap." And then I get a lecture about how he's getting on I-40. Because that's exactly what you want to hear when you wake up from a glorious nap, is about how Jake's getting on I-40. And it is never a simple call. It is always, and there's this person doing this, and I don't know why.
Both of you ag it on. Like, that's the worst part about it. Both of you ag it on. It's never a short phone call. It's like I could call Matthew needing one thing, and then he just somehow, like, instigates to make the call longer. Just that way he can get more entertainment out of the deal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is Jim Freeman listening to these calls as well?
If he's there, yeah. Most of the time, no.
So poor Jim's got to listen to me rant about I-40 as well.
It's part of it.
That is going to do it for us. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Daniel.
Pleasure.
Thank you to Charlie's Pizza for supplying us with food. Once again, you guys are the best, and shout out to the Marlowe Agency for making it all possible. All the guys back at the station, Matthew Moore, the GOAT producer, the best there ever will be, the best there is, and will always be the best producer in this business. We'll see you next time right here on WLAF.
The Billy Goat.
At least in the county.